Excavations have yielded evidence for material culture of the people at this strata at Mehergarh. For example, we have come to know about the stone tool types, about the pottery, about the belief system probably, because we have terracotta figurines from this site. We also have evidence for connections with other cultures in the neighborhood. All these have led to the development of a lot of ideas and debates regarding the diffusion of culture from other sides, as also the indigenous local growth of the Mehergarh culture from within. I have with me my colleagues from the Department of Ancient Indian History and Culture of Calcutta University today to discuss certain points. Here is Dr. Rita Chaudhary, the head of the department now, and this is my younger colleague Preeta Bhattacharya from the same department.
Mehergarh was one of the earliest cradles of animal domestication. Can we really ascertain that?
You see, it is not only the cradle of animal domestication, it is probably also an independent cradle for plant domestication. Now, the whole problem relates to the matter of the natural habitat of the wild species which have been found domesticated in this area. See, it starts with wondering about whether such common animal species like cattle, sheep on the one hand, and plant species like barley and wheat on the other hand were naturally available in the wild in the region, you know. Now, as to that, we do not have much indication. You see, one of the earliest evidence comes from this area about both the plant and animal domestications. Archaeologists have found sites from Syria, Lebanon, Israel, southwestern Turkey, and Iraq and western Iran also. But even then, we do not have the wild taxa still existing. It is because they are the most common edible and domesticated species. So the wild species is no longer to be found in the entire region. So what is the best clue then? The best clue is archaeologically available, and for this, since a lot of evidence in the wild form as well as in the domesticated form have been found from the sites, the Neolithic sites in this entire region, which is generally termed as the Middle Asia complex. Therefore, archaeologists have a general feeling that this is the cradle of civilization.
Yes.
As you know, that Gordon Childe had called it the cradle of civilization, the fertile crescent in the Near East. So this is the region which is generally held to be the heart of domestication of both plants and animals. But of recent times, what happened is that from 1960s and 70s onwards, certain evidence has started coming from Afghanistan and finally from Mehergarh, which puts us to some other notions, you know. It leads us to question whether there was a single heart of domestication or whether there were multiple independent centers of domestication. See, from Afghanistan, L. Dupree had carried out excavations at the Akkupruk caves in southern Afghanistan, and there at about the date which goes about 8000 BCE, there is enough evidence to show that there was both wild cattle as well as domesticated cattle. This is also true for sheep and goat. Now, this probably indicates that one of the earliest areas for independent domestication of these three animal species might have been Afghanistan. Okay. On the other hand, we have at Mehergarh the entire evidence for both plant and animal domestication. And therefore, in this book you will find this discussion. Gregory L. Pozell has posited, he suggests that whether we should not think in terms of multiple centers of domestication. So this is new area, these are the debates, but of course we need to carry out much more paleozoological and paleobotanical researches in other sites to understand fully the complex ideas.